Prologue. The thunderous sound of stormtroopers' feet echoed down the halls of the Imperial Palace. One group in particular marched their way to a room awaiting to enter. As the doors opened, the Grand Inquisitor looked up at them, displeased. "This better be worth my time," he replied. One trooper stepped forward and placed down a hologram. The footage played, revealing Cal Kestis with his crew, but what caught the Grand Inquisitor's eye was more intriguing than he expected. Cal appeared to have another addition to his team, a young girl around his age, staying close by his side. The Inquisitor began to listen to the audio very closely. "Annika, this mission is going to be risky. I don't want you getting hurt," Cal replied worryingly. "I don't care. We're in this together," she replied. Cal gently moved her hair out of her face and smiled. He slowly leaned in and kissed her gently. As they pulled away, he laid his head against hers while holding her hand. "We better move. It's getting dark," Cal implied. "I agree. Let's go." After a minute or so, the hologram faded. "So, he has a lover," the Grand Inquisitor chuckled evilly. The Inquisitor stood up straight as he felt another presence approaching. The air suddenly went cold, as if all the light had been snatched from the room. As the doors opened, he heard someone breathing, but the sound was no other than a mechanical hiss. "Lord Vader, welcome." Darth Vader wasted no time in small talk. "Have you found his location yet?" "Not yet, but—" Vader slammed his fist down on the Inquisitor's desk. A few stormtroopers slightly flinched in fear, except for the Grand Inquisitor. "If you do not find him, you'll suffer a fate worse than you can imagine." "I will do everything in my power to take him down, my lord," the Grand Inquisitor responded. "No, we want Kestis alive. That's an order, and I suggest you follow it." "As you wish, my lord." Vader said nothing more and left the room with the stormtroopers following closely behind. The Grand Inquisitor looked down at the hologram and paused it only on Cal. "What is your next move, Jedi?" Time skip. "Grease, land now!" Cal yelled. The ship shook violently as a green laser hit one of the wings, sending the Mantis down towards a random planet. Marin and Grease tried everything to keep the ship from crash landing, but it wasn't all avoidable due to the rocky structure of the planet. As they came to a stop, the ship leaned up against a cliff. "Is everyone all right back there?" said Marin. "Yeah, we're okay," Annika replied. As everyone exits the ship, they feel the intensity of the heat hit them almost immediately. "Where are we?" said Grease. "I'm not sure. BD-1, scan," Cal replies. As they step outside, BD-1 crawls off Cal's shoulder and scans a few of the rocks. "We're on Jedha?" Cal replies to BD-1. "Wait, we can't leave the Mantis. I spent almost a fortune on that thing," Grease implies. Before either one can respond, the screeching sound of a TIE fighter fills the sky. "On second thought, I can always buy another ship." "Hurry, there's a cave up ahead," said Annika. They all make their way quickly down the cliff. Once they get onto the surface of the sand, they run towards the cave, but the sound of the TIE fighter grows closer and closer. Suddenly, a green laser hits the entrance to the cave, separating Annika and Cal from Grease and Marin. "Are you guys okay?" Cal yells. "We're fine. Go ahead. We'll catch up on the comms," Grease replies. Cal takes his lightsaber out, igniting it. BD-1 suggests they cut through the entrance, but Annika quickly shoots that idea down. "If we do that, BD, this whole cave might collapse." As they continued their way down the cave, they saw a faint light up ahead, but when they got closer, they felt the sand disappear as the ground appeared more flat. Once they got out, Cal stopped in his tracks, which made Annika slightly nervous until she saw what he was staring at. "What's an Imperial Star Destroyer doing here?" Annika began. "Probably scrapping the planet for resources," Cal replied. Cal took his comms link out and tried to contact Grease and Marin. "Cal, we've got a bit of a situation," Grease responded. "Good or bad?" said Annika. "Both. Anyway, I managed to find a way on a new ship, but the Empire is crawling all over the city. You need to cut your way through the exit of the city and sneak into the spaceport," Grease added. "Copy that. We'll be there soon," Cal responded. Time skip. "I can't believe we managed to get past those guards," Annika whispered. Don't get too excited yet. We still need to find Grease and Marin. The comms went off again, but this time Annika answered. Where are you, Grease? We're just sitting ducks trying to find you. Don't get sassy with me, kid. We're heading to the cargo transport, GR-75. Got it. Thanks, Cal responded. They both quickly made their way to the ship, but just before they boarded, the lights went out, except for the ones hanging on the walls. The doors opened, and steam filled the room. Cal ignited his lightsaber while Annika got her blaster ready. Finally, I have you now. Cal heard that voice before. He felt his heart drop for a moment the second he realized who it was. The dreaded ninth sister had once again returned, although, this time, she was back with a vengeance. 2 stormtroopers walked in as well and began to fire at Cal and Annika. Annika dodged while Cal deflected both blasts back to the stormtroopers. They went down, but the ninth sister took her lightsaber out and began to attack. Annika shot towards her, but the Inquisitor deflected the blast back towards her. Annika felt her blaster being ripped from her hands and tossed to the side. Cal tried to rush over to Annika, but the ninth sister pinned him up against the wall with the force. Annika slowly crawled back, trying to get away, but there was nowhere to run. The ninth sister held her lightsaber up and swung it down to strike Annika. Cal yelled in frustration, desperate to save her, but he felt himself fall as he was no longer pinned against the wall. He looked up and saw Annika holding his lightsaber, blocking the ninth sister's attack. Annika used the force for the first time and pushed the Inquisitor away from her. Cal ran towards Annika and retrieved his lightsaber. They both ran towards the transport, but as they did, a flash of lightning had struck Annika. She collapsed on the ground, completely knocked out. The ninth sister used the force to pull her away, but Cal raised his hand up, trying to pry her out of her grip. Let her go, Cal yelled. Not gonna happen, you Bracca scrap rat. I'm taking her to the Grand Inquisitor, as well as you. Cal felt his grip loosening on Annika, but he kept fighting the urge to let go. He closed his eyes and focused to pull her back, but he lost it once the ninth sister yelled in pain. He opened his eyes and gently set Annika down, now that the ninth sister lost control. As the ninth sister collapsed, he saw BD-1 on top of her back, finishing up an electrical charge. Cal sighed in relief and ran over to Annika, picking her up. BD-1 flew over and landed on Cal's shoulder. Thanks, BD-1. You saved us. There you are. Whoa! What happened here? Grease began as he walked in the spaceport. Where have you guys been? Annika and I nearly got killed, Cal replied. We ran into some trouble as well, but this guy over here helped us. He says he'll talk to you once we board the ship. The figure wore a dark brown hood and kept his head down. Cal was a bit hesitant at first, but allowed it since he saved Grease and Marin. Once they boarded the ship and got to a private area, the doors shut and the ship slowly began to take off. Who are you? Cal began. The man slowly removed his hood, and Cal nearly dropped Annika at the mere sight of him. Master Kenobi! Hello, Cal Kestis. I'm glad to see you're safe. Sit down. We have much to discuss. End of the prologue.